And we're live.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
It's Megan McDonough.
And Kurt, Reverend Kurt Hunter.
We're here on our every other Wednesday live Facebook feed, and we're so glad for those of you who join us. We're supposed to say something really witty about.
Oh, yes.
Like a tagline.
Right. We're short on taglines right now, but we were talking about how the internet and everything has kind of captured websites, and so we're playing a little bit of catch up here. But we're just glad that you're joining us, and
And the evening is about really just taking time away for your spirit and your soul, and just to be blessed by this amazing woman who has just an incredible gift for creating music that moves you into a spiritual place. And then we'll talk.
And I did want to say that we are here at Unity Church on the North Shore, Unity on the North Shore, at Central and Grosse Pointe Roads in Evanston, Illinois. So if you're nearby, next time you are welcome to come here and watch. And but we're so glad that so many of you can join us here online.
Yay! Hey, Freddie, nice to see you.
Hey, Freddie. So I'm moved to open with this and a little prayer. Thank you for this day, God, and my place in it. Thank you for each breath and every minute. More than anything, the song and the will to sing it. Thank you for the earth and sky above me. How I love my friends and how they love me. And more than anything, the thought that you're proud of me. Oh, thy kingdom come and thy will be done, as it is in earth for each and every one. Thank you for the eyes to see you. Thank you for the ears to hear you. And more than anything, the hands to serve and be you. Oh, thy kingdom come and thy will be done, as it is in earth for each and every one. For each and every one. Right here, right now, we know that there is one presence and one power, God the good, omnipotent, and that we are one with this one and can never be separated from it, for it lives, moves, and has its being in, as, and through us. So it's from this place of oneness I speak a word of blessing on our time together, knowing that love, life, light, power, peace, beauty, and joy, divine order and grace are present. So grateful that this is so. So be it, and so it is. Thank you for this day, God, and my place in it. I feel better.
Oh man, I do. I swear, Megan, it is such a blessing to be able to sit here next to you. I mean, we're so close right now. Her guitar is on my hip, and so it's just resonating through me.
I love this painting. This painting is so cool. I wish that you could be here in person to see it. Who did this painting?
We don't know.
Oh, man.
Well, no, Alice Rourke did this painting.
Alice Rourke, wherever you are, your painting is blessing us.
Oh, that's true. It was given to us. It was a bequest. Someone had passed away who apparently had attended here years ago, and their son just dropped it off. Here, could the church use this? And so we move it everywhere. It's the backdrop
for... It's the traveling painting.
Yes, it's been the backdrop on the platform. It's now the backdrop for our Facebook Live. It's adaptable.
It's adaptable. We were talking about how something that looks terrible and is hard, that we adapt to it, and adapt around it, and we don't stop. It's almost like when you see a cement wall or a sidewalk, and there's a plant growing through it. It is adapted to the cement, because you cannot stop life. And that if you do, therein lies depression or sadness or, grief, is when we go, I can't adapt anymore.
Oh, the frustration of being,
right.
sort of defined by the circumstance and just stuck in the appearance. And
yes. And that...
And not that appearance is a false appearance necessarily. It is what it is. And our capacity to be able to see something different, maybe that's what the adaptability comes in. So like, I can adapt my expectation when a particular direction that I'm headed isn't really working or
exactly.
is somehow obstructed, then there's a way that I can change how I'm approaching it. And that's kind of adaptability.
And earlier, my sister Brenna is visiting, and so earlier we were talking about denial and the way unity and New Thought uses denial is we don't deny that something is bad or that it's happened or what we call bad, but we deny the power that it has.
Yep, that takes away our happiness.
Exactly.
Or can affect our capacity for joy or to be of service or to really live out our purpose, all of that, yeah.
Right. So not only is there adaptability, but there is and it takes work. It takes work to go, oh, this is hard, and I'm going to have to do some work here, but I'm going to deny that this has any power over me. This does not have power over me. And I never understood until I was in this teaching for a while that you could actually do that you could actually say, wait a minute, this is not my source. My job, if your job ends, well, your job is not your source. Source is your source. Your job was just a channel to get your good to you. And so...
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think. So, okay, here's an example. Our fundraising team is planning for a big gala, which is in November. It's a big piece of how our income gets supplemented in the year. And this year we're having it at a local hotel here. So, sometimes we've had it here, sometimes we have it there.
Right.
But it's the arrangements and the contractual stuff, they've been back and forth about 3 or 4 times. And this last time, I realized that the date on the contract is not what we've been promoting or what the whole team has been working on.
Oh my gosh.
So instantly, I'm stuck in the, what now?
Right.
That's the obstruction, okay, so what's the adaptability? What are the options here? And I just ended up calling and talking with the catering person there, and everything was booked up. There was just no possibility that we were going to be able to switch dates, and that would change everything else about the plans that we've made. But I kept talking with her, and we came to this realization that, well, if we were to really cut down on our preparation time, if we could set it up in 30 minutes instead of 3 hours, that she could work it in so that we could have this other room that actually has a great view.
Oh.
So sort of being present to it and not giving up, but recognizing that if I'm willing to adapt, we're willing to change the time of the thing and just be open to it, and suddenly we've got this, I think we're going to end up with a much nicer venue than we originally negotiated for the same price.
Oh, yeah, baby, because it's both and.
Yeah.
That's the abundance piece. And isn't it interesting that it was being worked out? Like, it didn't immediately go smoothly, and then you discovered the date. Like, there were some delays we can't get in here, and then all of a
back and
sudden.
forth. Yeah, but in that adaptability, I mean, when you talk about sort of the work, there was that,
yes,
it's all going to be messed up, and
right, which is,
and I had some expletives around there too, because that's one of the things that drives me nuts, because I tend to double book things. I mean, I'm so diligent about my Google Calendar, and yet there are still times when.
I've done it myself. In fact, I did it just recently, not knowing that I had overlapped. And it happened to me again I'm teaching a class tomorrow out at Unity Northwest, and because this songwriting class that I'm teaching, no one signed up for. Well, somebody signed up for the class tomorrow night, and I'm like, okay, so I have to contact the student. Would it be okay if we could move the the time up, and then I can adapt instead of going, oh, forget it, which is like, I like to liken it to, you know, those toys when I was a kid. You would press the bottom, and it was like if it were a horse or
oh yeah,
it would
like
collapse.
the elastic thing,
Yeah.
the legs would just
Yeah.
collapse under it. Yes,
You know,
that is such a good visual.
and then you'd release the button, and it would stand straight up again. It's like, I think it's natural to want to collapse at first and like, oh, but then
I'm going to use that preaching. That
Okay,
is a great
good.
analogy. I'm going to find one of those.
right? I loved those toys, and that's really the
Yeah, well, it actually could be like the metaphor for, okay, that's the surrender moment, right? You know, it's like, okay, fine.
Right,
And
yes.
then new life comes up. Yeah.
Right.
I love that.
right. Instead of just going right to collapse. You know, now I go, wait a minute, what's mine to do? What's spirit? How do you determine that? Do you ever have,
Oh, man, yeah.
like, what's mine, what's God's?
Well, I think the greatest barometer that I know is, like, feelings. You know, not to deeply get in touch with, all right, what feels right. And I have a coach for the roughest parts of those. I have someone that I can call and sort of talk it through. And I sometimes will be halting in the way that I might be trying to language a situation or what I want it to be like. But when I really come from my heart and what is absolutely true, it's easy. There's like, and you just know, oh yeah, that's it.
Oh,
That's it.
that feeling.
Yeah.
That goes, da, 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 da.
Yep.
There it is.
Yep. It just ratchets down whatever the tension or the anxiety or the negativity. It's like it just resonates. And 9 times out of 10, once I get that coaching, then I can go and be in the situation and live from that and have the words, the language to articulate it, and it works really well.
You know, that is so smart, and that is such gorgeous self-care. That is gorgeous self-care. Don't do anything alone. That's what I learned. Don't do it alone. Get help. Ask for help. Raise your hand. You know, say, I don't know. Could you, you know, and you're able to do that for people in a way your coach can do it for you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And I think the more coaching I get, or the more I have that experience of what it's like to move through that kind of a situation, then the more present I can be to someone else who's in that. Yeah, so it's definitely it's a feedback loop in a good way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I love coaching because it gets me out of my own head, you know. And there are times when, I don't know if you've had this experience or if any coaches are watching. Do you ever get a download? Like someone will come to you for some counseling or for some coaching, and you just get this, you listen, and then I just get like this download of, and sometimes I wonder, whoa, that's a really good idea. I mean, not that I don't know, but there are times when I come up with stuff, I'm like, oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the kind of the experience I was describing before. I think that's what, like, the download is. Then I just start talking in ways that it's just true, and I know it's true.
Right.
And there's no questioning it. There's no second guessing it. It's what I know to be true.
Right.
So maybe that's my version of download. Are you talking about downloads for someone, like a download in regard to someone else's experience,
Yes.
or for yours? Like,
or if they come to you with a challenge, or say they're working on a step, a step of the 12, and you can come from your experience or your wisdom, or just that you have an idea for them. Like your coach has a way of helping you. It has an idea for you.
Yeah, always sort of brings me back to okay, this is what we know to be your true self, and we've listed these qualities and stuff. So she's like, what would someone who's reliable and creative and this whole list of things, what would they do about that situation? And then it's like almost third person, you know, sort of like, oh, well, that person would be like this.
Right.
And then she sort of reminds me that, yeah,
that's
who you
hello.
are. Hello. So go do that now.
Right. And we just adapt. And yeah, it's a journey. On all of the paths that have pointed to peace, in all of the cures that promise release, the message was in all of these. The joys in the journey, the joys in the journey, the joys in the journey for me. In all of the books I've read and reread, in all of the lectures that play in my head, the wisdom of the great ones has said, the joys in the journey, the joys in the journey, the joys in the journey for me. Now don't be mistaken or misled, my friends. I've got my days with the blues, but when I am down, I get helped back again by someone who's been there too. So in all of the good times, in all of the bad, in all of the chances I'd forgotten I'd had, the kindest thought always comes back. The joys in the journey, the joys in the journey, the joys in the journey for me. The joys in the journey, the joys in the journey, the joys in the journey.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
The kindest thought comes back.
Yeah.
The joys in the journey. Is that, did you write that?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like you.
The kindest thought always comes
Yeah.
back. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Because hi Lynn O'Dowd is one of my coaching students. And I was just talking about her tonight. I said, this woman is terrific. We got together and she is so talented. Have you seen her presentation?
Yes, she's done an excerpt of it.
Oh my gosh.
Did it as a service here.
Lynn
She's
O'Dowd.
amazing.
Don't forget who told you first, folks.
That is a woman who triumphs. She's just beautiful.
Talk about adaptive. My
oh, wow.
goodness.
Yes.
Yeah, in fact, I'm starting a podcast. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to talk about doing it, so I'll do it. That is called Amazing Things, and I'm going to interview people. I hope you'll be one of my interviewees. I'm going to interview people telling a story about a time in their life when they did something really amazing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That is great.
'Cause everybody's got an amazing story, right? But now I'm thinking of writing a song that goes like this. You will do adaptive things. You'll make up stuff that really sings. Because a lot of the times it's being adaptive, but you're making stuff up on the spot.
And they're not mutually exclusive, right? Adaptive can be amazing.
Exactly. And often being adaptive is amazing. And again, I got to go back to, I think it's really spirit that does the adapting, that does the recalibrating and goes, wait, all is not lost. Here, turn here. And and again, is that what Jesus meant when he said, "Turn the other cheek"? Look in the other direction. How else could this be done, or how else could I see this and not take more punishment?
Well, and it seems like the way we're talking about adapting, it feels almost like that's transformation. Like that's when the shift really happens.
Yes.
At whatever level, whether we're dealing with something really mundane, like, I don't know, a hotel room, or whether it's something about the way that I'm going to approach my life, that I'm going to come at it from joy. That's going to be sort of my baseline.
And do you think that, because my path was not supposed to be the best second grader in the world, be a genius second grader. My path was supposed to be, I think, singing and songwriting, and a music ministry. And maybe as early as, the way I was sent back was Sister Mary Lorraine came up to me on the playground. I was going back in with the third grade class, and she said, "Go stand with the second graders." And that's how I got sent back to second grade.
Oh, my word.
Oh, wait a minute. I got a couple questions. But, it was so embarrassing, But when we need to go in and, because like a few months later I saw the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show, and second grade, schmecking grade, I didn't care what grade I was in. All I knew was, that turned on a light that never went out, that was not even in the realm of a classroom. So when we're like the hotel room, the space was the space. You just had to it's got to be recalibrated here. Okay, now it's like, really? You couldn't have made it a little easier?
Like, couldn't the data person write the first time? Like, couldn't they have done this a month ago? Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I'm still amazed, because I remember there was such a stigma to being sent back.
Oh, God.
And I was, you felt, it was embarrassing for everybody. I didn't have that experience, but I had friends who were, and you didn't know what to say to the friend when it was awkward all the way around. And the fact that, you've sort of recast that as like, okay, that made me available to what my true gift was.
I think so.
So from second grade, boom, I was plugged in without sort of a distraction of.
Right. Because, listen, there's a book, I don't know, I called Getting Past Your Past, which is, I think, a great title for a book.
It is.
But when you think about forgiveness being the key to happiness, as it says in A Course in Miracles, forgiveness is the key to happiness, you think, now, while I've gotten a lot of mileage out of that story, because it's a dandy, oh, that's terrible, and it is, it's terrible, but and we've all had that sort of experience, that shame, trauma. But the other side of that is, well, what is the other way of seeing that? Not denial, like, that was a crappy thing to happen, but what is the other side of that? Oh, look there's the Beatles and my begging for a guitar and not really caring, getting over it. Onto something really cool.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because it can go totally the other way, totally sideways, right? I'm mad at Sister Mary, whatever her name is, and I just heard the story 3 minutes ago.
Exactly. Everybody's got to.
Let that go, Kurt.
Right.
Adapt.
and I'm still writing a song that goes, hang on as long as you need to, let go as soon as you can.
That's brilliant.
Because believe me, there is a part of me that wants to hold on to that story forever. It's a good one. It's a binky. It's delicious. It's the one that I pull out when I send out what I call my SH sharks. jerks. I pull up, I send them out, I go find me something to really feel comfortable about. And they always used to come back with, one of my parents, or, and recently they came back with Sister Mary Lorraine. Oh, you haven't really been, done upset about, oh, right, yeah, that's the one.
Let me be a victim, just let me be a victim for a minute. Yeah. Oh.
And this was going to be the year of no victims and no villains. No
That's
victims,
beautiful.
no villains. That's Marianne Williamson.
Isn't that interesting? So if that was sort of your intention for this year?
Right.
And so here comes Mary Louise to there's a little healing here.
Sister Mary Holywater saying, go back to, go stand with the third graders. What? Hey. And then, that agreement comes back. Well, it's hard to change the mind, isn't it? Darn, it's hard. So.
It is, but here we sit laughing about it and talking about it.
Yes.
Which I think is beautiful, right?
Yeah, because that's the other side of it.
It's courageous to be able to talk about those places where we experience.
Right.
And I think that helps others to
plug
into their own capacity to adapt. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Hey, the time.
I know I have another meeting.
I know you do. So you got to go.
I do. I hate to miss. I love your closing songs and prayers.
Absolutely. I will close up. And how do I? Oh, I just push that guy.
Yep. And I think it'll say save somewhere. So you want to save.
Okay.
Julie Heater. Hey, Julie.
Hi, Julie.
Hey, babe. Nice to see you. Don't stay and listen to Meg. She's amazing, and she will change the energy that you'll carry into the rest of the evening in a beautiful, beautiful way. So thank you, Megan, for being here.
Thank you, Kurt.
If you love it, it's our website, unityns.org, megan.com. Right? And feel free to give generously. There are donate buttons all over the place there.
Take
care.
Kurt.
Love y'all.
Love you. So this is going to be a prayer treatment. Spiritual mind treatment for anyone who's could use a little boost as they adapt to something. You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings, and with every breath you take, bless the progress that you make. The reason you found in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things. Amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing. You will do amazing things. And right here, right now, we know that there is one presence and one power. God, the good omnipotent. God, whose center is everywhere and circumference is nowhere. And that we are one with this one. And it's from this place of oneness I speak a word of healing treatment. Knowing that wherever you are, God is and all is well. That every cell and atom of your being is filled with the healing love and light of God. You know what to do and when to do it. That you are divinely guided and led. You are divinely prospered in the abundance of the one presence and the one power. There is no time in God. There is no urgency in God. You are always on the right time and in the right place. I am so grateful that this is the truth of you. And I deny any false belief contrary to this truth. All that remains is that you are one with the one power and the one presence, filled with healing, love, life, light, power, peace, beauty, and joy. I release this treatment into the action of the law that only and always says yes, yes, yes. I thought you'd never ask. This is already done in the mind of God. So be it, and so it is. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, you're here to do amazing things. You're amazing. Keep up the good work.